It's Rob and Brent and my Reggie dude, and don't forget it also features Dawson too. We gonna give you all the dope reviews, but first we'll hit on all the movie news. Cha-ching, cha-ching, box office due. In between the news and the reviews, there's not a lot that we don't do, so turn the volume up, cause we coming through. Put your headphones on and tie your shoes. Jackman and Grant, we got all the views. We're like Brando in Godfather 2. We're gonna make a podcast you can't refuse. This is the Cinema Chat Podcast, and we know a lot about movies. Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's another episode of Cinema Chat Podcast with Rob and Brent and Reggie, featuring Dawson. I'm Brent.
I'm Reggie.
And I'm featuring Dawson.
And this week is sort of a special week in the Cinema Chat Podcast world. Reggie's yawning to cover up his excitement. And his excitement is because we finally got around to reviewing Reggie's favorite movie on the face of the planet. That's right. This week for Cinema Chat episode 287, we are reviewing Johnny Mnemonic. It's been a long time coming. We're very excited about it. Reggie's been trying to hide his excitement, but Reggie, you don't have to hide it anymore. We'll talk,
because I am super psyched to talk about this amazing movie.
We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but before we get there, I have questions, and I expect them to be answered in immediate fashion, with no wait on my end. But you will wait for this song to end first. What did we watch this week? Let us give you a peek. We'll get to the news real soon. First, listen to this little tune. Give us the attention we seek while we tell you what we watched this week. Tell them, Rob. What did you see? Tell them. They want to know. Reggie, what'd you watch this week?
I watched quite a few things. I watched Jingle Jangle. It's off on Netflix. It's a Christmas movie. Is
that the one with Forrest Whitaker in it?
Yeah. I'll say this. Christmas classic, you guys.
Get the fuck out of here, Christmas classic.
It was amazing. Like, I was watching it, and I was like, I wish I could have seen it in the big screen, like in theaters or like on stage, because it was really amazing. Like, a lot of great dancing, a lot, like, everything.
It's a musical
from a Christmas. Yeah,
it's called Jingle Jangle, dude. Of course it's a musical.
Well, I didn't know if it was some weird Christmas porno or something. You know? I guess that'd be Jingle Dangle, but whatever.
You can get some Jingle Jangles.
You got a little Jingle Jangle? So it was really good, huh? Who else is in it?
Felicia Rashad is in it. Keegan-Michael Key.
Okay.
Yeah. Real good movie. I had a lot of fun with it.
What's the tone? Is it like a comedy musical, or?
No, it's just your typical kid. He's an inventor, and Forrest Whitaker is an inventor rather, and he gets his invention stolen by Michael Keegan Key, who goes on to become like this big time inventor and things like that. And he kind of, it's one of those find the spirit of Christmas, or, well, the spirit of capitalism, commercialism is really what it is. But his granddaughter comes into his life and teaches him, he learns to believe again and things like that, kind of a thing.
I gotta be honest with you, it sounds like a hard pass.
Well,
I'll have my wife watch
alert.
it. She loves all the Christmas movies, so. Spoiler
alert, I put it in the in the doc.
No, you did not.
For a watch party.
Dude.
Like, not a Friday night watch party, though, right? It's
No.
like a separate Reggie's on his own time watch party.
No,
like
we can't.
It comes.
We can't.
My
do
next
that.
pick is on. My next pick is on the 20th.
We can't
before
do
Christmas.
that.
You know what, Reggie? It's right before Christmas. I'll allow it. Because you know what? It's right before Christmas. I'm good with it. I'm in. If it was like this week, I'm out. But right before Christmas, I'm in. I'm here for it. Let's have fun.
Hold
Merry
on.
Christmas, motherfucker.
All right.
Ho, ho, ho.
So,
Bah humbug, you Scrooge. It's 4 days before Christmas.
So you're telling me your goal, the week of Christmas, is to make it so that I have to shit on something Christmas related. That's what you want to do.
On it?
You're not going to shit on it.
Because it's a fucking Christmas musical.
You're going to be in the spirit. You're not going to be Krabby Patty Brent tonight. It's going to be 5 days before Christmas. You're going to be super happy, and boom, Christmas spirit. Reggie said he had fun with it. You liked Hamilton? Give it a chance.
This ain't Hamilton.
Give it a chance. Reggie said it was fun.
It's fun.
It's a full week before Christmas, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
It'll come out Christmas. The episode will come out Christmas, right?
It'll come out on the 20th. So it'll be our Christmas episode for sure.
Right.
All right. Fine. I'll acquiesce.
I also watched this movie from, I think, I should look this up because I don't want to get it wrong. I think it's the UAE.
The what? U80?
UAE.
UAE.
Emirates. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It came from the United Arab Emirates. It's 2016. It was on Netflix. Called The Worthy. And it's like a post-apocalyptic movie, but set in. I assume the UAE because it came from the UAE, but it's kind of a nondescript Arab country. But like it was such an interesting movie because it's like, what does the post-apocalypse look like in a country that's like a Muslim country where they have like Muslim values and things like that? And it was pretty damn good. Everybody makes a bunch of stupid decisions, so at the end I was kind of rooting for everybody to die because it was just like so obvious who the evil people were, and it was just like, why are you being so naive? I just hate naive people. But like I got to the end and I was like, I wonder if they would make a sequel, because like it kind of ends in a way it's like, well, I can see how this guy could go on a Mad Max revenge type of thing in the next movie, but since this came out in 2016, I haven't seen anything about a sequel on the horizon, so I don't know if there will be one. But if there was, I would be interested. And the last movie, I finally got around to watching Coco.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad that you watched that. I told you whenever it came out that you would love that. Wait, did you like it? Okay, good.
Yes.
I saw your tweet this week, and I'm like, I could have swore you've already seen it, and I'm like,
yeah, no.
Coco's badass.
He's a jokester. Yeah, my kid loves it. So.
That's a musical I can get behind. Not Forrest Whitaker Inventor Christmas musical. But anyways, yeah. So, Dawson, what'd you watch this week?
I watched a couple things. I watched a movie on Amazon Prime called The Mandela Effect.
Okay.
Ooh.
Have you seen that, Reggie?
No, I'm interested by the title though.
So it's exactly what you think it is. Well, so there's a guy and he stumbles on, like he starts looking into it, just like if you've heard of the Mandela Effect, you know what I'm talking about, how everyone discovers it the first time. If you don't know what it is, it's essentially this theory that we're in there's multiple universes, and at some point ours is merged together or switched. And it's all based off the Berenstain Bears on a book from our childhood, or that people think like Nelson Mandela passed away when he was in prison. They believe that very strong. That's why it's called the Mandela Effect, and he didn't. He passed away years later. But anyways, this guy looks into it, and something tragic happens to him very early in the movie, and he works with a professor. It's kind of like the butterfly effect, where he thinks he can make things work, and he figures out what happened to make the Mandela Effect really fire off. And it's clockwork. It's really short. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes long.
Okay.
But it's good. It's good. I'd say definitely check it out. And yeah.
It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned the butterfly effect, because before you said that, I was going to ask you if it was better or worse than the butterfly effect.
Yeah, I mean, like overall, like the idea of this movie is better because it's deeper. And it has kind of I like how it ends. Yeah, but I like Butterfly. That's a movie I haven't seen in a long time, but I know I liked it a lot when I saw it. So I'm not gonna watch it again.
Same.
I'm not gonna watch it again. So yeah, Reggie, check it out. It's on Prime. Another movie I watched just because it popped up when we were looking for a movie on Halloween for our double feature. I watched The Haunting on Netflix with Liam Neeson and Catherine Zeta-Jones and a whole bunch of other people. Owen Wilson and Owen Wilson, not Luke Wilson. Yeah. I watched that, and then I watched. I can't remember if I said this or not, but I watched You Were Never Really Here, that one Joaquin Phoenix movie.
Yeah, I don't remember you talking about it. No.
Yeah, there's a reason why. I was just like, oh yeah, I did watch that. I didn't care for it. It was just him walking around killing people, trying to find missing kids. And all right,
okay.
It was violent. It was weird.
Yeah,
I didn't really care for it. Everybody really likes it, but I didn't.
Yeah, I did not watch a ton this week. I tell you what, I did watch. I watched season 2, episode 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All caught up on that bitch, and let me tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited.
If only we had been telling you.
I know. I can't believe y'all let me go this long without telling me how great it was. If only
I just assumed at some point you did watch it, and then you just stopped telling us that you watched it.
If only I had known sooner that it was so good, I could have watched it. Fuck you guys is basically what I was saying. Fuck you guys. But the rest of my free time this last week has been spent on my PlayStation 5, which came on Thursday of last week, November 12th. And, 5 days later, I have a platinum trophy on Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Probably the easiest one you could get.
I have all of the trophies. Actually, that Astro's Playroom is apparently like a 6-hour platinum trophy. But 20 hours of... Are you trying to minimize my Miles Morales platinum?
You said you had to lower the difficulty on the game to get it.
For one fucking trophy. For one of the trophies.
Hey, that's fine. You did it. Hey, you did it. That's all that matters.
Look. I cannot knock anybody for lowering the difficulty because I usually play on like an easy difficulty just because I want to. I only care about the story. Like I don't need the game to be difficult. I
played
through it.
My first time through, I played on the second lowest difficulty, and on my second time through, because I've played it all the way through twice now, I put it on the second highest. So I didn't go all the way up to like the extreme one, but I went second lowest and second highest. So I've played it on both of those difficulties. It's a great game. And I know that a lot's been said about how short it is, but it's an amazing game. It really is great. So, I think it's completely worth it. And it's probably not the last time I'll play it, honestly.
Can I tag onto what you did this week? Just really quick and just tell everyone if you get a PlayStation 5, make sure that when you get the games, you don't play the PlayStation 4 versions of them, because otherwise you will have to start all over and play the PlayStation 5 versions to get caught up. So I did that. That's what I did this week. Instead of beating the game twice, I played the game once on the PlayStation 4, and then I had to start all over again on the PlayStation 5 version. So
can I tag? Cool. Can I tag onto that?
I'm done now. You can make fun of me for doing it twice.
He didn't do it once. He did it twice.
It's confusing.
He played the NBA version, the NBA game. He played the PlayStation 4 version. He's like, what do your menus look like?
Because I saw that's what I saw. I'm like, why are there two versions of this installed? I don't need the PlayStation 4 version. And then I looked, and it's like, wait a second. I was sitting there like the kid, like with the cookies. I'm like, wait, I did. Oh man, I did this because I had no save data when I opened up the new one. I'm like, where is this stuff? Where is it? And the menus look different. And I was like, which one did I load?
What's the big difference? Like, is it like dramatically different, or is it just?
No, so like
the
the
same thing.
visually, it's not going to look a ton different. I mean, it is going to be better on PlayStation 5, but they upgraded the PS4 because I was like, wow, this looks really awesome anyways. But it has like the controllers have different functions with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're playing basketball and you're like posting up against somebody, the button on the trigger like flickers. Dagger, that's for you. And like it'll get tighter. If you're tired, it's harder to push down because you're tired. So it does stuff like that, and then it has different features. Side note, currency that you buy on the PlayStation 4 version doesn't carry over. Because you spend the money in the PlayStation 4 version, and that character doesn't carry over.
Listen, this motherfucker tried to call me out for lowering the difficulty to get one of my 50 trophies in Miles Morales whenever he's pay to win on fucking NBA 2K21. Listen to this guy. Just buying a coin. He bought the Mamba edition so he could get the 100,000 coins because he doesn't want to grind to level up his player.
Double in high school right now.
Wow,
I'm in college now.
You suck your own dick too? What?
Yeah, you can't, little dick.
I'm just not very flexible.
Yeah, well, yoga, DDP yoga. All right, let's go. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
All right,
and I'm not sorry.
Cindy, the news is on.
Insightful.
Good news.
If the headline is big enough, it makes the news big enough.
Timely.
The news goes on for 24 hours a day.
Well prepared.
You like Huey Lewis on the news?
Well, I got some bad news for you.
Do you want the Aladdin news or the Aladdin news?
The Aladdin news?
This is Movie News.
take us away, Dawson.
Welcome to news. I didn't put all these in there, so I think we're going to have to tag team this like they do on Channel 4 News, and they send it over. But I know we've talked about Snyder Cut quite a bit. We got a couple things this week on it. We got a new trailer, which to me was cool. It was in black and white. Brent doesn't like it. He's shaking his head, I guess. Reggie's hyped on it. I think we're all kind of excited to see it. And then we've kind of talked about it a lot, how they're doing. It seems like it has a huge budget, and there's a lot of characters coming back and doing a lot of reshoots. But the news I have here just says that Zack Snyder has announced that they're really only going to do about maybe 4 or 5 minutes of new footage. So, I mean, there's like some people aren't even coming back for reshoots. So the 4 or 5 minutes, nothing too crazy. Like, and some of those minutes are with Jared Leto and Joe Manganiello.
Joey M.
Yeah, Joey M. so they're coming back, right? Henry Cavill's not back. So I mean, and then Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, and Gal Gadot are back for a week. So there's not a whole lot for them to really, to do. It's probably a lot of CGI with.
Bro, if you believe that they're putting all this work in for 4 additional minutes, I got some fucking Swampland to sell you. I don't buy that for a second.
I could believe that because, like, I think a lot of the work would go into, like, the special effects because, you know, you just have to, if what he said is true that he shot most of the movie, then, you know, most of that money probably would just go into special effects. And
I'm not talking about the money. I'm talking about the time. You don't do that amount of reshoots for 4 minutes. That's a lot of money spent to get people on film, get people to set, get a crew there. That's a lot of money spent to get 4 minutes of footage.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's necessarily that, because if it is CGI, because I think a lot of it is going to be adding in like the new character Darkseid, and I think so when you add in that, when they have the first cut, they have the scenes they filmed out, but they don't go in and fill the CGI, right? And they're not going to go and fill that, so they'll have like storyboard cuts. So he has reels of this stuff, but it's just like animated storyboards.
I understand.
It costs a lot of money.
I understand that. I'm talking, like you just said, you've got 3 actors coming back for a week. You have 2 other actors coming in separately. Like, that's a lot of work for 4 minutes. I mean, these movies shoot for like 3 months for 3 hours of footage.
Yeah. But it's also money talks, right? Like, hey, Ben Affleck, Warner Brothers is giving, can you come here for a week for $1 million? for $5 million, whatever. Like,
I don't buy it.
Ray Fisher, all the shit that happened with Ray Fisher, they're not going to be like, hey, Ray, can you come back for a week just for fun? Like, they're going to say, like, hey, we're sorry. Here's some more money, too. Like, they're all getting paid well for it.
Right.
But no, I'm not saying like it's difficult to get the actors back, like they're contracted and all that shit. Like, I'm not saying it's difficult to do that. I'm saying the amount of time they are spending on reshoots is more than you would have for 4 minutes. You wouldn't spend that much time to get 4 minutes. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. And there's once again, with everything else that's gone on with this, there's no way we'll ever know. So I could say I don't buy it. You could say you totally believe it. Reggie could say he knows it for sure. Or, we could all three have different opinions on it. And we'll never know because there's no way for us to know. Because the only people that know are fucking Zack Snyder and the editor. And I don't think either one of them would ever go back on it if they said it. I don't trust Zack Snyder further than I can throw him, and I can't even pick the guy up. I'm a weakling.
I mean, I can understand where you're coming from on that one, because especially considering Hollywood has a way of lying about the reshoots. Because, like, the whole rumor behind New Mutants was that they reshot basically the whole movie, and then the director came out and said we didn't do any reshoots, and it was like, okay. I don't know how much you could believe that, considering, like, if you just look at the first trailer and then you look at the trailers right before the movie came out, it's like those are totally different movies. And yeah, it could be because you just cut a different trailer, but it looks like the whole plot was different.
So, and here's another thing: like, how much does he stand to gain from this movie being good and it being his original vision? Like, he stands a lot to gain by saying, oh, we're only putting 4 extra minutes in that we didn't already have. And who's going to call him on his bullshit? Who's going to prove it? He has everything to gain from it.
I think with him putting out 4 hours, he's still not going to get whatever Zack Snyder was looking for to get from this. I don't think he's going to get it because it's 4 hours. So there's no way that we're going to see his original vision, which is what everybody really wanted to see in the first place. I'm still excited for this in a big way because those trailers they're amazing. It's like, it totally is a different vibe from what we got. And I'm really here for it. But, like, at the same time, it's not going to be if there's an alternate world where there's like some Mandela effect and it was Zack Snyder's Justice League, we'll never see that movie.
No, I'm here with you 100% on that. Hold on, I'm writing something down. Just a little note for myself. Reggie, you mentioned
that's concerning.
Reggie, you mentioned a movie that you didn't say, and what did you watch this week? I heard from a birdie that you watched.
I was going to wait till the end of the news to mention that, but yes, I did watch New Mutants this week.
Oh, so it's not fake anymore?
No, I guess it's not fake.
And how was it? How was it?
There are just a couple of things I have big problems with. For whatever reason, somebody decided to make Magic, who is a really good character, a racist, and like a racist in a way that doesn't make sense because she's a Russian. So like, why is she coming over here and just making all these Native American racist jokes? It's like, I don't understand how that even happens. Like, what does a Russian know about Pocahontas and Standing Rock? But whatever. That aside, it was actually a pretty decent movie. I know it's like PG-13, and the original is supposed to be like rated R. And I kind of wish I would like to know what the rated R version of this looked like, because it was supposed to be a horror movie, and I could see the horror elements, but because it was PG-13, it's kind of watered down. And my only other complaint is I think we've all seen the trailer, and I think we all called it. So if you saw the trailer, you kind of know what's going on in this movie, which sucks. But
Yeah.
other than that, pretty good. Because they try to make it like it's a big reveal. It's like, you guys weren't fooling anybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, keeping on the comic book train here, we have the Snyder Cut coming out. We also have Wonder Woman 84, which is still miraculously set to come out in December of 2020 here. And word on the street is that it might actually go through with that December 2020 release date and release in theaters, but that it will hit VOD very shortly after. So they didn't specify, but they kind of hinted at the fact that it would come out in December, like the week before Christmas, whenever that is, or Christmas Day, or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I thought I read Christmas Day.
I think it's Christmas Day, but then it would be out on VOD like 2 weeks later.
Oh,
Is that what you saw? See, I saw
it simultaneous. I saw it was
Yeah,
Europe.
that's what I saw. I saw that it's coming out in theaters and coming to HBO Max on December 25th.
No, I saw the HBO Max. I didn't mean to say VOD, but I saw HBO Max. It's the headline of the article was short theatrical window followed by HBO Max. And then in the article they said it would be like 10 days. But maybe that's been updated.
Yeah, this one says it's been revealed that Warner Brothers is officially setting Wonder Woman 84 for a simultaneous theatrical and HBO Max release this year.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Simultaneous. Yeah, and here's the official tweet from Warner Brothers. We're thrilled to bring you Wonder Woman 84 to you this Christmas in theaters and on HBO Max. So,
what's really amazing about this is you're not going to have to pay extra to see it on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
See, but I think it's a good idea because I think HBO Max is undersubscribed, and I think once people see, like, they'll sign up for this because, hey, it's only $15 a month or $12. That's what I would pay to go see it in the theaters anyways. So they'll jump on to do that. They'll stay safe, whatever. I don't even know if my theaters are going to be open. We just shut down today for 4 weeks.
That's true.
So, like, our theaters just completely shut down. They can't be open for 4 weeks at least. So yeah, I think people do that, and then they'll see, like, wow, there's a lot of really good content on HBO Max. Conan O'Brien announced today, like, hey, I'm out. I'm not doing a TV show anymore. I'm going to go on HBO Max and do something. So I think they're going to see it and be like, wow, this is actually got a pretty big catalog. And then they'll keep it and they'll make more money than the one-time ticket. I think.
I think.
You think so?
I think so. I think people are going to see it and like, man, there's a lot more stuff in here than I expected. And there's a lot of kids stuff. There's a ton of. There's a lot of comedy. We look through it. And there's like, wow, there's so much stuff.
HBO Max might be second to Net. Like, it is definitely second to Netflix. It's fucking legit.
It is. I mean, they've got so much stuff on there that it's amazing to me. Like, not just how much they have on there, but like the range. Like, they've got like old like Vincent Price stuff, and then they've got like Godzilla, and it's just they've got so much great content and so much obscure content as well. That doesn't even include all their TV shows.
Yeah, it's a far better companion to Netflix than either Prime or Hulu.
Yeah. Every time I go on HBO Max, I look at Hulu. I'm like, why are we doing this?
and the original content that they're putting on there, like I haven't watched Raised by Wolves, but I've heard it's just phenomenal.
Raised by Wolves is amazing.
That's what I'm saying. So people are going to start to see that, and we talk about it, but not everybody out there has HBO Max. I have it because my dad gets it for free, whatever. So I think they're going to see it. And they'll like it, and there's going to be new stuff constantly. So I think the interface could be updated. The interface is really really bad.
The interface is garbage.
And it just launched on Fire Stick, so you don't have to do the janky, like the thing that I did. And if I'm not crazy, they're going to get the New Mutants before Disney Plus is going to get New Mutants. So we might get that like a month.
I'm going to need them to get on Roku, first of all, because I'm a Roku guy and not a Fire Stick guy. So that'll be the next step for them in my opinion, for my viewing experience. Or hell, if they get on the PS5, that'll be good too.
They're not on PS5?
PlayStation 5 only has like 6 streaming apps.
Yeah.
It's really limited
right now. That's dumb. It's on PS4.
It should be able to carry over. You can play the games from PlayStation 4. I did.
Shudder needs to get on PS4 or 5.
But if it does come out on HBO Max at the same time, go ahead and pencil that in as our first review of 2021. So
okay, yeah, I just don't understand, and this is something that, like, I know COVID threw all this stuff out of whack. I get that. I don't understand the need for studios to try and put stuff out this year. You know, like, why can't they just push Wonder Woman back? Like, it seems like they're just going to lose money doing this. It's not going to make, like, I don't see how they're going to make the money that they would have made, especially if they're just giving it to us for free on HBO Max. It just seems like that's just like throwing a lot of money on the table, just leaving a lot of money on the table. It seems, I don't understand why they're doing that.
Well, we don't know how much HBO Max is paying for it. You know,
yeah,
you know
HBO
what I
Max
mean?
could just be like, like here's $100 million right up front or whatever, or $200 million. They could do that. But I also think, like, how many people are going to sign up for it and then forget to cancel, even if they just do a month,
Right.
just for Wonder Woman. Say 10 million do it and 5 million forget to cancel. That's an extra 45 million. Do the math. It's a lot of millions in pockets.
That's true.
60 million in the bank.
75 million.
75 million. I just missed a 5. Carry the 1. And, so I just, like that'll happen, right? People are like, oh shit, I forgot to cancel HBO Max.
Dude, I pay. How many months of that Stadia did I pay for?
Yeah, I'm still paying for it. I forgot all about it.
Dawson hasn't played it in 4 months. He forgot he had it until I just said something.
Yeah, what Stadia? Speaking of video on demand, so Universal and Cinemark have reached an agreement on their VOD release schedule, and I think Brent predicted it almost to the day. They've decided at least 3 full weekends, 17 days, theater exclusivity for all Universal and Focus pictures, which at the time studios have the option to make it available across premium video on demand platforms. Any title that opens to $50 million or more, including many franchise title, will play exclusively in theaters for at least 5 full weekends before it may be able to become on POVD. So Fast and the Furious 9 will not be available until 5 full weekends after it comes out. So
Okay.
a month and a week.
Yeah.
So keeping score at home.
Well, it's actually a month because 5 weekends,
31 days.
31 days. But yeah, 17 days. That's exactly what I said. 3 weekends, and then as soon as that period is up. So yeah, I called that dead nuts. I don't do that often, but I'll take the W on that one for sure.
Congratulations.
But that's just Universal and Cinemark. I'm curious to see how other studios handle that deal, as well as how other exhibitors do. Like, what does AMC think about that? Was it AMC that was in the pissing match with Universal, or was it Cinemark?
It was AMC and Cinemark. They kind of teamed up together.
Yeah. So does AMC just say, okay, like, we're cool with that, or they fight? They're not really in a position. They don't have leverage with anything.
They don't really have. Yeah, they can't say fuck out. Like, we're not going to play. Okay, fine, then close your stores now. Like,
yeah, they don't have fucking leverage. Life is all about leverage.
They have none.
They have
always take the
zero.
higher ground, Anakin.
I have the high ground. But yeah, no, I called it. I'll take that. That seems about right too.
Yeah, that's fine.
The 5 weeks, I did not call that. It makes sense to me that if a movie's doing really well, in that 4th and 5th weekend, there's still some money to be made for the theaters. But I mean, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but I would say, 80 to 90% for a lot of movies are in those first 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, I think the bigger ones, it does make some amount of sense to leave them in there a couple more weekends. Still, that's a lot shorter than the 90-day window that we've had previously with other movies. So,
but who knows? We'll see. Because who knows if theaters make it that long?
Yeah, dude. we've been big supporters of movie theaters for a long time. And I feel like the longer this goes, the better chance that the theater going experience as we know it is kind of done.
Yeah, I don't know how like the little chains like out here. Like there's one that I've got down the road from me that I saw the tenant at. They're not part of any. They're independent. That's the one and only location they own. They've been closed since March. Like there's no way they're gonna survive another 2-3 months of this. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know.
But,
yeah, that sucks. Cause like I love the movie experience, but it just seems like the farther away we get, it just seems like we're becoming the minority on that.
Oh,
I know
for
a lot
sure.
of people who
For sure.
don't care about the movie experience and are more than happy to have a watch party and throw in like $6 each to watch it at home. And, you know.
And I'll say to this too, you're going to see over the next coming weeks and months, you're going to start to see like, I have a cool projector that's here in my house, but I have it mounted.
He's pointing to it right
like,
now.
It's like right up here. But there's a lot of like companies out there that are developing ones that are just like they can sit like an inch away from your wall and they can give you a 100-inch screen. So like, and it's got a sound bar built into it. So it's a home theater, like it's a theater in a sound bar. And those are coming and they're not that much more expensive than what TVs cost right now. So I think it's kind of like we're eking that way towards like no more theaters.
Yeah, dude. It's a little bit of a bummer, but if I'll be honest with you, if I can figure out a way to get a badass screen, like I have this vision of my basement with the giant screen like Dawson has, probably better than what Dawson has. That's my dream. I mean, my dream is better than Dawson has, but it's probably not what I'm going to wind up with.
My setup's really not that big of a deal, but carry on.
But I want recliners, like leather recliners, but I want a tiered.
Yeah.
So I want 2 rows, but like a stage for the second row. So you sit up higher, like stadium seating. That's what I want. And if I can get that, where it actually feels like a movie theater with some good surround sound and a nice chair, I think I'll miss the movie theater quite a bit less if I can get that.
That's what my brother-in-law has. He rebid his basement where he raised up. So it's basically like a step up. It's just a platform for just one with the theater seats with the cup holders and the leather recliner, projector and stuff like that. So he has that in his basement.
That's all I want is 2 rows, one raised up off the other one. Daggard says, I will definitely miss the movie theater experience, even though realistically I was only going about 6 times to 12 times a year tops. I will say though that I've really enjoyed movie night and watch parties over the past 6 months. So yeah, I mean, I was going like 90 times in a year these last couple of years. So, I'm definitely like, it's a big change in sort of what I do. 'Cause that's a lot of time whenever you're thinking about it. I mean, it's 7-8 times a month that you're going, twice a week, basically, that you're going to a movie theater almost. But these last 6 months, well, shit, it's been longer than 6 months that we've been doing the watch parties, and the watch parties in Discord are a ton of fun. Like, it's made my Friday nights so much better over the last 8 months or however long we've been doing it. So, if we wind up getting to where we go back to theaters, I do hope that we can still find time to do some watch parties here and there, because it's a lot of fun for me. For sure.
Yeah, I'll say this. I know some friends we've talked about renting out at AMC because you can do that now. And we looked into it. Their selection is not good, which sucks. But you can rent like new movies. Only problem is new movie.
It's like $300.
Yeah, they're like $259 plus tax for like a new movie. But like Wonder Woman, maybe we'll rent a theater for Wonder Woman and see that.
No, you're not. No, you're not, because you're just going to watch it on HBO Max. You're not going to justify that. Come on.
Here's the thing, like we're itching to do stuff, and like that would be something, especially if we got like 20 people or 10 people, you know, it's like that price at $259 seems a lot, but if you have 20 people doing it, it comes down real fast. Something a bit more manageable.
I don't know that I could get 20 people together that I trust with their practices, their their travel and cleanliness and sanitation practices. I don't know that I have 20 people in my life that I trust on that level.
Yeah, I think we were thinking around 10 or 15 because we know there are 10. We know 10 people that are in our little bubble or whatever, and we could probably expand that another 5. But like, even so, I don't know if that's something we'll do or not. But
yeah,
it's something we're thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought about it for Tenet, and it was just like me and my dad. But I'll go to the drive-in, and it's an experience.
I was going to talk about fans petitioning to remove Gina Carano from The Mandalorian, but I don't want to talk about that. She's
talking about fans wanting.
She's an anti-masker. She's got some other political stuff. She has a lot of problems. But that's not really a conversation.
She's definitely doing her best to get herself kicked off of season 3. Let's put it like that.
I would say so.
I don't understand these. Well, you know what? No,
that's what I'm saying. Like I started to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I want to have that conversation on here at least.
I don't think we need to talk about the politics of it. That's okay. Whatever. It is what it is. That's not what we do here. But I'll just say this. Like, I was talking to Jonathan and we were talking about it. And it was like, a lot of these people seem to be doing what it takes to try and get themselves to like ruin their careers, And it's just, I don't understand why when it's easier to just shut up. But then I guess, the flip side of that is, well, they're standing for what they believe in. So is that more commendable, even if what you believe in is stupid? Or some people think what you believe in is stupid? I don't know. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, I guess I wouldn't back down from what I believe in, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it can be difficult to view people on the other side as people, I guess, sometimes.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I'll say. And not just, and I understand that goes both ways. Like, it's two wings of the same bird or whatever the shit is. It cuts both ways. I get that. But yeah, we don't need to talk about that. We have one more. Well, we have two more news stories, actually. Yeah.
Just in case you guys, because like a lot of people are going over to, like Gina Carano, she's on Parler now. You guys, if you're on Parler, you can follow Cinema Chat on Parler. I secured that for us.
What?
Is Brother to Brother over there too?
Of course.
Okay.
Thank you for taking care of that. I don't know what we would have done if we'd missed out on getting that.
Well,
handle.
we have to expand our reach.
Oh man. We did get a new patron this week. Try Grootless, I think is his name on Twitter. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
He found us through Brother to Brother, which I think might be the first person that's found us through your other podcast, Reggie.
Right?
But hey.
And I was just amazed to find that out. Like, that's amazing. And then Jonathan took credit for it, which I don't think is due because, I mean, even if Jonathan exposed him to Brother, Brother is free. Cutting Room 4, you have to, sign up for Patreon. So he was like, the content on Brother is so good that I want to hear more of it, and I'll pay to hear more. And Jonathan isn't on Cutting Room 4, so I'm just. So I guess what I'm learning, my lesson is that he wanted to hear more of Reggie. I don't know.
Hey, Jonathan, is he paying to hear you?
No.
Right. I mean. Am I wrong? Does that logic not work out? I think that logic works out.
I think Circle gets the square on that one, bitch. A couple more small things before we move out of here. Peter Stormare, who played Lucifer in Constantine, came out on Twitter and basically hinted that the sequel to Constantine is in the works. I don't know how many years later. The first Constantine wasn't really held in that high of regard. So I am surprised to hear that there is a sequel in the works. But as we're reviewing a Keanu Reeves vehicle this week, I thought it was appropriate that we mention that. Daggard says, "How dare you, Brent?" You like Constantine? Reggie, what are your thoughts on Constantine?
I love Constantine.
Get the fuck out of here. What is wrong with you guys?
I'm a big fan. It's here's what it is. It's a decent movie. I think there's a lot of people in it that make it worthwhile. I mean, you have Jamon Honsu's in it. You have what's her name?
You know what else? You know what else Jamon Honsu's in? He's in NBA 2K21.
Dude, it's so crazy when he dies in the prequel in the story too.
He's in a basketball video game and he dies in that too.
He gets hit by the bus. Spoiler.
Sorry to interrupt.
Like Rachel Weisz is in it, you know.
I mean, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the cast, Reggie.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's a great cast, and I think the story is good. I really enjoy it, like, in spite of Keanu Reeves' acting.
Okay, all right. Well, there's a sequel coming.
Don't forget, we're talking about Keanu Reeves' acting in a little bit here. Stay tuned.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised with how much you love Johnny Mnemonic. Dawson, what else do we have?
Last thing that I've got in the news is Quentin Tarantino announced that he's going to do a novel that's set around Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is weird because I didn't know he writes books, but he's doing it. I thought they were going to do like a mini show, like a mini series on it, but it sounds like it's going to be a book now that's going to go before and after the events that take place in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's going to follow Rick Dalton and what's his name?
Has he ever written a book before?
I don't know that he's ever written a book before.
That's an interesting choice. Maybe he's looking for a new challenge.
Maybe it'll also be like one of those, like he writes screenplays, so
he writes a book and adapts it into a screenplay.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure he might work with somebody on it, but
I think I say he writes a book and then he turns each chapter into an episode on his HBO Max show.
You know what? Actually, I might be wrong here. I think this might be a novelization of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So not actually like not a sequel, but it's a novelization. So it's the movie put onto a book with extended stories.
That's a fact.
Sorry.
That's a fact. That first thing you said was not a fact because it wasn't true. Okay. Well, that makes a little more sense. I guess he wants to flesh out those stories a little bit, but yeah. So that's all the movie news that you had?
Yeah, that's all I got. I know you had something.
Hello?
Hey.
Who is this?
It's the Sim and Chat podcast.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, definitely Scream. You got some news for me?
Now that we're all here, the party can begin.
It's time for Scream News. Okay. So it might become a little harder for me to gather Scream news in the coming weeks because they wrapped filming on the Scream sequel, Scream 5, or they announced an official title that I can tell you about here in a second, but they wrapped filming. I think they filmed for 7 weeks for this movie. And it's officially titled, it's been rumored, but officially titled just Scream. So it has the same title as the 1996 movie, just like the 2018 Halloween movie did. I don't understand why Hollywood is starting to do this. Because this is a direct sequel, right? I mean, this is not only it's not a direct sequel to the original. This is the 5th one in the series. They're not like retconning shit out. So I don't really know. I understand maybe not wanting to put 5 on the end of it because I think studios feel like numbered sequels are played out. That's why we're constantly getting like Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol and Mission Impossible so I think that they feel like that's kind of played out. So I would totally get if they wanted to call it like Scream Again or Scream The Next Generation or Scream First Contact or Scream Beyond the Darkness or whatever. If they wanted to call it any of that stuff, I would get it. But just calling it Scream, that's the only thing. Kevin Williamson posted that. He announced it on Twitter. And I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, but if you go look at Kevin Williamson's tweet, if you look closely in the background, you might notice something that might be a little Easter egg for something coming up in the movie. I texted it to Dawson. I told him what I was talking about. And for a lot of people, it wouldn't be a big deal. For me, it's kind of a big deal. And it's also, Reggie, why you said, in seeking out movie news, am I worried that I'm going to spoil the movie for myself? No, I'm not worried about finding it out through seeking for things to talk about. I am going to find it. Like, it is my mission to look in the background of pictures and shit to try to find clues. Because that's who I fucking am. And it's gross. And I know more about it than I probably should. But you know what? I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know how it's going to work out. Maybe I know a location. Maybe I know someone that's in it. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to pop up. Is it a flashback? Is it moving forward? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But if you're interested, you can look in the background of Kevin Williamson's tweet. And if you know, those of you who know, you know. That's all I'll say about that. And that is the end of Scream news for this week. But I'm excited. Okay. I don't know. I don't get the title thing. I don't understand it. I don't know why you would call it Scream when you already have a movie called Scream. I don't understand. But it's neither here nor I'm not the one making the call.
Predator too, didn't they? The last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it's the new thing now. When it all comes down to it, the title really doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I just want the movie to be good. I just want the movie to come out. I want to watch it. I want to have a good time with it. I don't care if they call them all Scream from here on out. Like, if we want to just start putting the year in parentheses behind it and just call them all Scream, I don't give a fuck. Just make them good. That's all I care about. Box office. We gotta move. This news segment ran long. Yeah. Reggie, while I'm doing the box office, you might want to pull up Johnny Mnemonic on IMDb because you're running the show on that. Box office for the weekend of November 13th through the 15th, 2020. Number 1, the horror movie Freaky, starring Vince Vaughn in a villain role. Pulled in $3.6 million. Number 2, Let Him Go. That's a Kevin Costner, Diane Lane movie. $1.7 million. Number 3, The War with Grandpa. That's a Robert De Niro movie. That's at $1.3 million. Number 4, Come Play. I'm not sure of what that is. I don't know who's in that. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, it's called Come Play. And it pulled in $1.1 million. Number 5, Honest Thief. I believe that's Liam Neeson. $780,000. And number 6, Tenet. It's 11th week. $735,000. So, Wonder Woman 84. When was the last time we saw an opening weekend over, what was Tenet? 8 million? Something like that? What was Tenet's opening weekend? Let me look it up. Tenet's opening weekend was, it was 20 million. So, Wonder Woman 84. Let's see what you got. Christmas Day. Worldwide global pandemic rearing its ugly head once again. Let's see what you can do, Wonder Woman 84. Fuck. All right. Are we ready for our feature presentation?
Can't wait.
Yeah, let's get into it.
And now, our feature presentation.
Oh yeah,
Reggie.
I was waiting for the trailer. I
always wait for it too. I'm always like, we're not doing that, right?
No. I cut 2 minutes out of the live show.
Yeah, we're doing 1995's Johnny Mnemonic, Keanu Reeves' best movie. It stars Keanu Reeves, of course, Dina Meyer, Dolph Lundgren's in it, Henry Rollins, Ice-T, Takeshi Kitano, who nobody probably knows. But if you've watched a lot of action movies and Japanese movies, you know him. He's, I think, probably the biggest name in this movie he's not for American audiences, but he's just a big name, and I just want to give him the respect that he deserves. Anyway,
respectfully, I realize he might be big in Asia, but I think Keanu Reeves is a pretty fucking big name. So... Worldwide.
It is what it is.
You're saying this guy's bigger than Keanu Reeves?
I bet Keanu Reeves is as well known in Asia as that guy.
I mean, this guy's in 68 movies, but
in 1995, I don't know if that was true.
Okay. Oh, man, that might be fair.
That's definitely fair. Yeah, definitely.
That might be fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. This movie has a low rating on Rotten Tomato, 12% and 31% audience score, which is just unfair.
How's that happen?
What?
How's that happen?
I don't know.
How's it get that low?
People just don't know a good movie. Yeah, we kind of are doing this because somehow found out that this was my favorite movie and let the world know. And I was like, I can't believe we never reviewed this, so let's review it. And I gotta say, I'm very curious to know what you guys thought, but I felt like this was our generation's Total Recall. It gave me a lot of Total Recall vibes. Because he's got this information and he's got this resistance that wants the information to save the rest of the populace because, you got this corporation that's trying to keep people down. And just like in Total Recall, you got a resistance that's trying to save everybody else and they're downtrodden. And you got a anti-hero in Keanu Reeves who, all he wants is his payday. He doesn't care, and then throughout the movie, he's like, okay, if I got to make the sacrifice for the greater good, I'm going to do that, So it's like an amazing story arc. And you have such colorful characters like Dolph Lundgren's The Street Preacher. Oh my goodness. Hold, sinners. I say that all the time for no reason. Because it's such a classic, quotable line.
Not only strong Total Recall vibes, it's also heavy Blade Runner vibes for me. Very akin to Blade Runner, and might I say, the predecessor to The Matrix. I fully believe he got the role as Neo in The Matrix because of the success, nay, the fantastic performance in Johnny Mnemonic. I mean,
right. And when the Wachowskis went to him, he's like, "Oh, I already know about the internet and stuff because I did Johnny Mnemonic." So I know about putting myself in the internet.
Or putting the internet into him. He was jacked. Right. He literally jacked in this movie.
Exactly.
I mean, where do you think they got the inspiration? Some people would say it's from a manga. I say it's from Johnny Mnemonic. You okay over there, Dawson?
I don't think Dawson liked this movie as much as we did.
Hold on. Am I in alternate reality right now? When does this end? Are you guys kidding me?
Did you not like the movie?
You gotta be. Are you guys kidding me right now? Both of you. Are you guys? Am I crazy right now?
Am I taking crazy pills?
I told you I love this movie.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you were gonna stop your bit at some point. But you just kept going, and then he starts jumping in too, and I'm like, "What is going on here? Like, don't agree with each other."
Am I the only one that did the assignment here?
Right?
I didn't do the homework, I guess. You guys didn't cue me in on this joke. I don't like it.
Oh. Well, I am joking, but only to make Reggie feel better.
I know. I was going to play along too, and I'm like, I can't do this. I don't have a good thing to say about this movie.
Not one.
Reggie, are you really serious that you like this movie?
Dude, what is not to like about this movie?
He's really good at this.
I like the dystopian, like, this is supposed to all happen, like, next year, too, like, 2021.
Yeah, it's 2021.
Which, it's so prescient, because it's like, yeah, I can imagine, it's almost talking about COVID-19 without talking about COVID-19, like, it predicted it, because you've got this disease that everybody has to deal with, they got the shakes or whatever, and you got a company that wants to keep it from everybody. I mean, how is the Yakuza not Trump?
I didn't know we were going there.
I may have gone too far.
Is he free game now? Is that what we're saying?
Look, here's what I know. I know the script was dumped off on Keanu Reeves' doorstep, and that tactic alone piqued his interest in this movie. So, I guess if that worked for him,
that's a fact.
It works for me.
Was the dolphin in the script? Or
Yeah.
did they just add that when they got to set?
Reggie, when do we get to the dolphin part of 2021? Is that like early in 2021, or like is that like late, like fall 2021? Dude,
Harambe died so that we could get to the dolphin.
Okay, it's fair enough. We did get a documentary about my octopus teacher, so I mean we're
okay. But no, in all seriously, this is a crap movie.
So I saw this back in the late 90s. Maybe like 98-ish. Like I was probably like 12, 13, 14, somewhere in that range. And I remembered being like, I remember being like slightly entertained by it, not thinking it was great. But I gotta tell you, coming to it as a 35-year-old man in 2020, this is one of the worst movies I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Johnny Mnemonic, and it's not hyperbole. Not only is the story shit, there's stuff that doesn't make sense in it, but also we talk about Keanu Reeves setting himself up for success in the roles that he takes. He took this role before he knew how to set himself up for success, because they have him doing things in this movie that make him look just god awful. He's a terrible actor. I think back to the scene. I had some stuff written down. I don't know where it went, but there's one scene where he's got like a really bad headache or something, and he's holding his head and he's like shaking around and like screaming. Just some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm looking for my notes. I've had some things to pull.
Cage school of acting.
Oh, dude, overacting. Way overacting.
A lot of screaming, scream acting. Like, I'm not, get this out of my head.
I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
I had notes and everything for it.
Well, here's one for you. Something that's always bothered me about this is, there's so much where I'm like, that's not how storage works. He's got like 100 what did he say? 116 something gigabytes that he could store, and then they put in 300. And I'm like, no, that's you can't put in. It's like a glass. If you have a glass that can only hold 2 cups, you can't put 4 cups in it. That's just not how that works. And then 2, the human brain can store up to the human brain has 2.5 petabytes of storage, available storage. So, which is like 1 million gigabytes. So 300 gigabytes is nothing. You wouldn't need some sort of augmentation to store something like that. That's a fact.
Yeah, I moved off of it to try to find something on YouTube.
Well, did you guys know this was Robert Longo's final film that he directed?
No way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was. It really was. And not only that, but there was somebody else who was originally signed on to be Johnny Mnemonic, but that person left to go play a different character from another feature film from 1995 called Batman Forever. Val Kilmer was set to star, but left the project after he was left.
Oh, dude, that was back when he was the shit.
That's right, because he knew he was the shit, and he knew that Johnny Mnemonic wasn't shit.
Okay, I don't know how much of this it's gonna play, but there's a line in this that I wanted to pull that specific line. But here,
okay,
you got parents and stuff.
Yeah, once, but I haven't seen them in years.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't think about it much. Okay.
Well, what do you think about when you're alone?
I think I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need a computer.
I need a computer. Oh, dude. How great is that? That's top-notch acting right there.
Isn't that crazy?
And that's a fact.
That's a fact.
I need a computer. You got parents and stuff? Dude, I don't know what they were doing in this movie.
Right, because I can't think of anybody that you could replace. If you replace Keanu Reeves, that wouldn't fix all the problems in this movie.
No, it doesn't even scratch the surface. He is bad. He is really bad in this. But he's not the reason this movie is bad. He's one of the reasons the movie's not good. But the movie is bad because it's just a shitty fucking story. I tell you one thing this movie could have used more of. And it could use more of that one dude, the most famous guy in the movie. I can't recall his name right now. But pulling the laser rope from his finger, the fingernail that he pulled off, and was cutting people's heads off with it.
Yeah.
This movie could have used more beheadings.
His little laser whip thing seemed to be able to cut through anything. So when they needed it to not cut through things, because there's one scene where he first shows up and he's cutting through metal plates, he's cutting through marble, he's cutting through everything. They close a gate between them, and he's like, "I can't get through this gate." And I was like, "How does that work,
dude?
What's going on here?"
And he's got, he's got all of this shit in his fucking head. And the only way they can get it is with these 3 images. And of course, the 3 images are only printed on paper and they rip them in half. So he's got to find the other set of the images. Yeah. And, they're going to kill him to get the information out. And they don't want him alive after they get the information out. It's just, it felt like an adult wrote an outline of a script. Here's beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, beat 5. And then they handed it over to a middle school class to fill in the gaps. And they're like, okay, we're going to have a bad guy that's he's a preacher and he has a cross that's a knife. And we're going to put, we're going to hook a dolphin up and we're going to have the brainwaves of the dolphin. It was just one nonsensical thing after another. it just got crazier and crazier, and I don't mean that in a good way. Like, I struggle to even make sense out of the plot enough to tell you where they went wrong. Because it felt like they went wrong at every turn. And you mentioned earlier that this had a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Too high. Too high, I would say.
I think they went wrong by not really knowing what they wanted, because like there are a bunch of people in this movie that have their own goals and they don't really explain what those goals are. Like, I guess the Yakuza is working for the big pharmaceutical company, so like the pharmaceutical company hired the Yakuza to get the information back, and the Yakuza kind of want their information back for their own reasons. And then the pharmaceutical company is also trying to make a deal with Keanu Reeves. So it's like everyone's making a deal with everybody else. And it's like, it doesn't make sense, because if the pharmaceutical company is just willing to make a deal with Keanu Reeves, then why don't they just do that? There was no need for all these double crosses and stuff like that.
I don't know. And then you got Henry Rollins and Ice-T in this, like, stunt casting. This is before Ice-T did 20 years of Law and Order. Like, right? he might be a halfway decent actor now, but you put I don't know. I haven't seen him in anything in a long time.
He's just Ice-T.
And
he just showed up in Red Lines.
And you got Henry Rollins playing a doctor for some reason.
Right.
Dude, I don't know what's going on in this movie. You got a falconer. You got a doctor named Spider. You got a preacher that is killing people. You've got a dude with a laser thread. You got a bodyguard / sex worker with the fucking shakes. They're hitting all the sections of character development. But really, is there a character in this movie that really gets, is there anyone that has motivation that they really follow through on? Other than Johnny Mnemonic? And his motivation is just... What's Ice-T's motivation?
His motivation is to protect his people, and like that's his motivation.
What the fuck does he do? Reason he shows up twice.
Once he finds out what's in Johnny's head, he's like, I gotta get this out to save everybody else. Like, that's his motivation, to fight the man and fight, like, I don't know, society. He seems like a Luddite. Now that I think about it,
I swear I thought you were about to say fight.
I think about it. And now that I think about it, I really don't know what his motivations were anyway.
I swear I thought you were about to say fight the power, and I was like, that's Chuck D. I don't know. Like I said, I remember watching this movie at like 12 or 13 and thinking it was okay. And I was entertained on some level. But this time going through it, watching it with other people, as an adult, dude, how did this movie get made?
Yeah, and like, why did Turd Hat think that this was my favorite movie? Like, how did that come about,
dude?
You know what? I think Daggett is right, and I think that this is Turd Hat's favorite movie. And he just wants to share it with the masses. Like, the first time I saw it was a couple of years ago because of the Turd Hat jokes. And I was like, well, let me actually sit down and watch this thing. Because I didn't, because I heard it was bad. So I was like, well, let me actually watch it. And I was like, this is spectacularly bad.
He got you.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened. Like, he just said it one night. Just like he just, out of the blue, said that I fart into my hand and throw it in people's faces. And give him pink eye. Like, that's just what he does. And, sometimes I like to run with his jokes. And the fact that Johnny Mnemonic is your favorite movie of all time tickled me.
Yeah.
Filled me with glee, I would say. But yeah, no, this movie has... Is it a stretch to say that Johnny Mnemonic has zero redeeming qualities?
No.
No.
That was a quick no, Dawson.
This movie's awful. This is terrible. I would never. You wouldn't pay. I wouldn't watch this again.
If I paid
Like,
you,
I don't even know if it's so bad that it's good. Like, I wouldn't even. Like The Room is a movie that is so bad that I've shared with other people, but I wouldn't tell anybody to watch this.
Hey, Dawson, you got parents and stuff?
I need a computer.
I need a computer.
What the fuck is going on?
And I think what's so funny too about this movie is how much they got the future wrong. And we're talking about a future that was 25 years away.
26 years.
Yeah, you know, so it's like a lot of this stuff should have been on the horizon. They should have known kind of what our world would look like. And the fact that they're running around without any like personal computers or whatever, I don't know. It's just the idea that like 300 gigabytes is a lot of storage knowledge is so laughable.
Well, you know, that shit grew quickly. Because I think back to whenever I was in high school, right? And I paid a lot of money for like a 64 megabyte thumb drive. Like
right.
A lot. Like, I don't know. I don't remember how much it cost, but it was probably like $50 for 64 megabytes. And now I can get, and it was like that big. And now I can get, like a I don't know, 250
flash drive,
256 gig, tiny little flash drive for like $8. I mean,
it's true.
That's a cutting room floor episode. Movies that got the future wrong.
All of them?
No,
a lot of them.
Songbird. You haven't seen Songbird yet.
Or how movies that got the
Hey, Min's in here. He says a 12 terabyte external is like $300.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
So I mean, I think about how quickly that did.
If you were writing a movie 20 years from now and you wanted to talk about some amazing expandable storage or whatever, what would you say? Like, I would think we would be talking about like, I got to get this 20 or 100 petabyte disk across the country or something.
But you also have to look at it from like, when did we start using personal computers on the reg in home use? And how quickly did that, was it Moore's Law take effect? Right? Like, back in 1995, we had no concept that it was going to take off to the extent that it did. Now, in 2020, like, we understand how quickly it grows exponentially. Like, we get that. But in 1995, the sample size of what we had, like, we couldn't really comprehend how quickly it was going to grow. And I feel like now we kind of have a better understanding of that. I got that. I think we have a better understanding of that now. So I think that it might be a little unfair to sort of ding the movie on that, because in 1995, I don't know that any of us really had the comprehension that it was going to take off like that.
That's true. I suppose that's true.
But that's
remember like our memory cards for our PlayStations and stuff like that,
dude. It was,
those were like, weren't those like megabytes too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean,
I think my first computer had like 16 gigs of storage, and I thought it was hot shit.
Yeah, I mean, Dagger says Windows 95 was out in 95, and it was a giant departure from Windows 3.1. And that's sort of what I'm getting at, Dagger. Like, we were just starting to hit that, like, ramp up in 95. Like, we hadn't really ramped up at all. And 1995, I think, is sort of, if you're looking for a line of delineation, I think 1995 is a pretty good spot to put that line in, right? I know we had CD-ROMs, but I think that 95 is when it really kicked up. So.
Yeah, the internet, I mean. The computers used to be the size of a room. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
to print to do 4+ floor.
In 1969.
Summer. My throat is so dry right now.
Well, I got a cure for that. Do we want to give our scores so we can get out of this?
I need water, and this is I'm tired of talking about this pile of shit.
All right, Dawson, let's let you go first.
Yeah, this movie was terrible. Don't watch it. I mean, I guess the only chance I'd say watch it is like watch it with your friends if you haven't seen it. Never watch this by yourself, and never watch it twice unless you're showing it with a friend. But yeah, on that alone, it's a 2. It's a 2 out of 10. That's the only reason why I watch it, because you could have a little bit of fun making fun of it with your friends, like we did tonight, and we will later on. But yeah, 2 out of 10.
I'm gonna go slightly higher for you. I'm gonna go 2.5. It's because I got so much joy out of I need a computer. And do you have parents and stuff? And there's also a guy in there that gives a really good we've got all night asshole earlier in the movie. So just for the sound bites in it alone, like I got a kick out of that. And then also, as like ridiculous and stupid as it is, I did get a kick out of the fact that there was a fucking dolphin in a tank hooked up with like brain electrodes for literally 15 minutes of the ending of the movie. I don't know what's going on there, but come on. I mean, when am I ever going to see that again? So 2.5.
Okay. This is not a good movie. It's probably one of Keanu Reeves' worst movies that he's ever done, which is kind of saying a lot considering the movies that he's done. Hate watch maybe is the only reason to watch this. But like, yeah, pass. This is a hard pass. And I'd give it a 3 out of 10.
Oh,
2.
Oof.
I'll go 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's half points, right? You don't have to drop it a full point.
I know, but like the only reason I would say to watch it is because like I think Dolph Lundgren's character is so weird that that's the only redeeming thing about it. That and Ice-T is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And there's some funny deaths.
That's true. I mean, there's some stuff in here. Is a complete shit movie. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this week. I do want to throw this out there. We said last week, we have a couple of movies coming up. We've had some shit shows. Let's see, my last 4 scores have all been 3 and below. But we have Attack the Block next week, which I have not seen, but I've heard really great things about. So, things are looking up for next week. And then the week after that, we have The Running Man, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then the following week, I don't know what we're going to watch. And then the week of Christmas, we have Jingle Jangle on Netflix.
Jingle Jangle.
So
there's at least one really good movie in that mix.
Can't wait for that. It's going to be a good time.
The Block, I'll say this. If people come in here hating on Attack the Block, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's such a good movie. And Running Man.
Well, I'm glad that we finally got around to reviewing Reggie's favorite movie of all time. Thank you for taking this journey with us. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You don't need to follow me. You don't need to follow anybody.
But you can follow us. I'm Brent, and I am
X, not Malcolm.
And he's Rob, and he's
Rob 1.
There's also Reggie, who is hidden. We can't forget about Dawson at
Andy
_ Dawson.
Don't forget to follow the podcast at CinemaChatPod on Twitter. And check out our website, cinemachatpodcast.podbean.com.
I'm following you now. I'm just going to follow you everywhere. I'm just going to follow you the rest of my life.
Thanks, Peter. Now, if the rest of you would get off your ass and follow us, that would be great.
Mail, motherfucker!
Oh, and don't forget to send your emails to cinemachatpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Please, send us something. Have a good week, everyone. Goodbye.
Dawson, did you get your water?
No, I need to go get some as soon as we're done here.
Throat's
My throat is dry.
hella dry from all your activities.
No, I just didn't hydrate very good today.
Sure thing.
This has not been a good year for us, score-wise.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
No.
Go.